Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Redmen TV and a rather impromptu live show ahead of tonight's beginning of the Premier League. Liverpool will begin their Premier League defence, their attempt to retain what is rightfully ours later on. But before all that, the Reds have added yet another name to the summer transfer business. That's right, Giovanni Leoni in the last 15-20 minutes has been confirmed as a Liverpool player. The deal to bring him from Parma to Anfield is done and dusted. Yeah, it's been pretty obvious for about 48 hours that he will become a Liverpool player, but now it has been confirmed. We're going to have a chat for the next 15 minutes or so about him and about how excited we are that he's now a Liverpool player. We're going to talk about some of the details. I'm going to read you some of his quotes from his interview, his first interview, of course, as a Liverpool player. But to begin with, how are we feeling out there? It's going to be a hell of a night, ladies and gentlemen. Forza Leoni. Adam kicks us off with another great day. Leoni in and Doak to Bournemouth for an asking price of 25. Yeah, we've essentially swapped footballers at this point. Like, not obviously hasn't gone to Bournemouth, but like we've essentially just done Doak out, Leoni in a day more. We haven't confirmed anything around Ben Doak just yet, but it does feel somewhat inevitable that he will be making that move to Bournemouth for what will account to nigh on 24 million and a bit worth of profit from the 600 grand we gave to Celtic a few years ago. So yeah, Liverpool are active, ladies and gentlemen. And as KB rightfully says, Leoni is now on number 15, following the footsteps of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, whose birthday is today, actually. Daniel Sturridge, Jamie Redknapp, Patrick Berger, Peter Crouch, Salif Diao, and Yossi Benayoun are all former Liverpool number 15s. And now Giovanni Leoni can be added to that roster because he is ours. Future superstar for the here and now. What's been really fascinating around some of this Leoni stuff has been the squad role conversation, because he is only 18. He's only made 17 Serie A appearances. Like, nothing like what Liverpool had previously gone for and almost demanded from their signings. They've always sort of longed for that magical 160 senior appearance mark. Giovanni Leoni falls way short of that, but I think it just goes to show how highly they regard him and how promising a prospect they believe him to be. And some of the noises coming out of Liverpool in terms of how much they think of him, or they reckon he's sort of one of the most exciting prospects on the market and think he could go on to become one of the best defenders around, actually. So yeah, and also the fact that Liverpool have wanted for so long to sign this profile of player, like we've been linked to Dean Howson, Lenny Yoro, Levi Colwill before that as well. I do feel like finally we've got our man stroke boy in this instance as well. So yeah, let me know how we're feeling in the chat and how we expect him to be used along the way, because you know Konate and Van Dijk are obviously number one option right now in terms of the centre-back partnership. A little bit of Joe Gomez when he's fit and available once again. There's conversations around Mark Gahey still to be had as well, of course. Are we thinking Leoni will just be the Carabao Cup kid? Will he be the FA Cup kid? Who knows? But one thing is for certain is he's a Liverpool player, and Liverpool think he's a proper talent and a proper bright prospect. And he has been speaking, as mentioned. I'll just get rid of that comment off the screen. I'll brush that away just there like that. He has been speaking to the club's official website. And I think most pleasantly of all, he said it was impossible for him to turn down Liverpool. He's revealed it wasn't possible for him to say no to Liverpool, one of the best clubs in the world. As soon as the prospect of joining Liverpool emerged, that was it. The 18-year-old defender, it says there, has put the finishing touches on his permanent transfer from Parma to the Reds today, penning a long-term contract. No information about how long that deal is. There have been some reports that it might be a 6-year deal up until 2031. The fee is believed to be around the £26 million mark as well, with add-ons to come. But yeah, as you can see there, it's one of the best clubs in the world. It's not possible to say no to the club. It was easy. I did not say no. It then goes on to say, on his progress with Parma, the continuous game time in the second half of the season, and continues to play games, and I have more confidence in myself. I want to try and improve my new teammates in training and after on the pitch in the Premier League and the Champions League. So he's not lacking confidence when it comes to forcing his way into the conversation around starting Premier League and Champions League games for the Reds. So yeah, do we believe he can do the same? I don't know. It feels really tough to break one of Konate or Van Dijk away. I think in terms of what Liverpool have done in terms of bringing the player in, I think it's really smart, because again, I think we needed we needed reinforcements. We needed bodies back there because we were really, really light. It was never more evident than that Atletico Bilbao doubleheader when Van Dijk was absent, and we had a back two in one game of Andy Robertson and Trey Leoni, and in the other game of Ibu Konate and Wataru. And like, you just couldn't go into a season with anything remotely like that, notwithstanding Van Dijk's return, of course, and Joe Gomez likewise, who's been back in training this week as well. But yeah, Liverpool here and now needed bodies back there. But I think in terms of future planning and future proofing, there's major question marks around Ibu Konate. Van Dijk isn't eternal. He won't go on forever. At some point, he will hang up his boots. Hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon, but it will eventually come. Father time waits for no one, not even Virgil van Dijk. So having someone who's 18 with all the, let's be honest, the physical attributes he already possesses, the lad's 6'5". He's 18 and 6'5". And he's already had a taste of what senior football looks like. He's an Italian centre-back, which is enough for me from the get-go because they've got a rich history producing some of the best to ever play the game, to be honest. So yeah, I'm really excited by it, as you can probably tell. What are you doing? Oh, okay. I'll do that. Sorry, just some impromptu messaging coming in there. It's not my laptop, obviously, so I haven't got it open. Okay. Right, I'll try and do that now. Sorry, just some technical situations going on. Just pop the chat out on the new one. This is messed up. Okay. So am I still talking? Am I still live here? Oh, okay. Is there a new stream entirely? We need to find a completely new one. Oh, right, okay. I'm onto it now. All fun and games. Here we go. I see what you're driving at. I thought one of them had just sort of froze. Let me refresh that now. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. The pitfalls of going live at the drop of a hat. Right here, right now. You are witnessing it with your very eyes. We're getting there, I think. Let me just check that. There we go. I've got some stuff. Wonderful. I'm fine now. Thanks, Andy. Yeah, it wasn't my fault, but we're back, which is good. That means I can hear from you guys as well, which is kind of the whole point of the show. We can get Michael Elise. That's random. Welcome to Liverpool now, free Isak. He's got number 15 correct. I don't know how far behind some of these chats are, but keep them coming, and I'm sure we'll catch up eventually. I've completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, to conclude my last conversation that I was having with myself, I'm excited by this transfer. And I think Liverpool fans exclusively should be as well. And I want to see him play football. He will be at Anfield tonight, I can tell you that. Whether there's a pre-match unveiling that goes on the pitch or a half-time one, I'm not privy to that information, but he will be there tonight by all accounts. So if you are watching or indeed tuning into us in about 45 minutes' time, do keep your eyes peeled for a first glimpse of Giovanni Leoni as a Liverpool player. But yeah, as long as he can buck the trend of Italian players that we've signed in the past and be a good one, he'll be doing okay. It's boss. Leoni's English is better than Dan's IT. I'm not taking any blame. I don't do the IT shit around here. Like, that's not on me. I'm just this guy that talks to you all. If it freezes and goes tits up, that's not at my door, mate. I'll take the blame for a lot of shit around here, but not that. No, but the English point is a good point. Now, I asked someone, I had the privilege of speaking to a few people in the past few days about him. Most of the content is now available on YouTube in clip form, and there's also, of course, Redmen Plus, where you can find the interviews in full. But I did ask someone how his English skills were, and they actually weren't sure, to be honest with you. That wasn't particularly insightful information, but that was something that I was really interested by, because I don't know whether it's just something I've thought, and it's like it might be wrong, but I don't know whether loads of Italians have ever left Italy particularly successfully. There will be examples that fly in the face of that, obviously, but they are very at home in their home, and why not? Italy's beautiful, the food is incredible. But for him at 18 to leave his comfort zone and step out into the big wide world as an individual, let alone a footballer, was something. But to do it to the Premier League, the best league in the world, probably the toughest league in the world, certainly as a defender, and then to the Premier League champions and the expectations and the pressure that comes with that, I think is a hell of a step from the kid. And the fact that he does speak English will make that transition all the more easier. And somebody a moment ago, I'll see that Freedom Journey mentions Chiesa staying. It was actually put to me that Liverpool might look to keep Chiesa around to help Leoni integrate and help him to settle. That might not be needed. He might just be a natural, and he might come into a really positive environment, which Liverpool have garnered, and Van Dijk oversees so much of that. That it might not be necessary for Gay to stick around for that. Sorry, for Gay to stick around for that purpose. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens in the next few weeks. I do think there's major question marks around Chiesa for what it's worth. This is why I was talking about Gay, because I don't think this deal has a knock-on impact or affects the Gay pursuit whatsoever. I think they're completely separate, much in the same way that our business has been quite linear all summer long, really. There isn't really well, if this happens, that won't happen. Liverpool want certain players in certain positions, and I don't think this impacts the other whatsoever, personally. And I hope not as well, because as much as I'm excited by the Leoni deal, I don't think you can go Van Dijk, Canate. Let's be honest, there's still major question marks on Joe Gomez and how long he can stay fit for, to Leoni. The kid might be ready, plug and play Premier League right now. I hope he is. But that's a big, big hope and a big, big unknown right now for me. Because again, I'll come back to it. He himself said he's really pleased with his progression second half of the season. That's because he only really played the second half of the season. Like, he wasn't really at the forefront of Parma's plans first half of last campaign. So to expect him to jump from that, this time last year he hadn't played in Serie A. So to jump from that to being ready to oust Ibu Konate or play ahead of Ibu Konate, or if he's injured, feels like a lot. Have we had an Italian defender before? Yeah, Andrea De Sena is one. How successful he was, you can make your own minds up about. But yeah, we haven't had it again. Our track record of signing Italians isn't exceptional, but yeah, it's got to end at some point, hasn't it? Let's see if Leoni can be the kid. And Liverpool's recruitment. We wait and see what this summer's recruitment ends up looking like. On paper, it looks exceptional, but in terms of tangible trophies and success, that's all to come, of course, we hope. But yeah, I've got so much faith and so much trust in what we're doing right now and how we're operating. And actually, interestingly enough, obviously, Richard Hughes' links and connections in Serie A will have made this deal all the more smoother to get over the line. I'm certain of it. And it might be one of the reasons that Leoni chose Liverpool. There's probably a myriad of reasons why I did, because we're Liverpool ultimately. But Richard Hughes having such strong links to Serie A and to Italy might have made it all the more straightforward for him. But I do wonder, and I do have, again, total faith in our business. And when you look at the team we're playing in a couple of hours' time, Bournemouth, and the players they've sold, 3 of their back 4 have moved on this summer, right? And this is more of a pre-match chat right now, so bear with me. But they've gone to Liverpool in Kirkhez, Zabani's gone to PSG, and Dean Howson's gone to Real Madrid. Bournemouth have sold to them 3 football clubs, and more or less all 3 of them signings were under the watch of Richard Hughes. Now, in terms of remit and getting his job right at Bournemouth, to buy those 3 and have successful times at Bournemouth for all 3 of them, and then sell them on at the margins and the profit that they've done, that Richard Hughes has done a remarkable job down there. And obviously he's upskilled his job in terms of the requirements and the expectations at Liverpool. But if he nailed that in the way that he did, we've only got, credence and reasons to back him to nail the Liverpool remit in the way that he's doing. So, yeah, I'm really, really happy as well, as is Andre Rodriguez. Incredible talent. If we get Gahey, even better. Yeah, I do think we need Gahey again for what it's worth. I really do. I think, again, just in terms of the squad and how healthy it's looking. Yeah, well, and listen, he's there for the taking, let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush on Mark Gahey. Seemingly really keen on the move to Liverpool. Final year of his contract. There's a disparity between what Palace are demanding in terms of the fee and what Liverpool are willing to pay. I think at some point they will just meet in the middle, genuinely. I think the longer and the closer we get to the end of the window, I can just see Palace don't want to lose him for free. In spite of all the reports in the past 24 hours about Gahey maybe being content to stick around, Steve Parish himself, the man who controls the purse strings at Crystal Palace and has got one eye on everything financial, came out on Sunday and said, we just cannot afford to let an asset worth 30 plus million, whatever, leave for nothing. It's just not healthy for Crystal Palace to do that. And then add to that the financial knock-on impact that not getting Europa League football would have had. Yeah, it just feels like there's a high-quality footballer there, primed and ready to go get taken and bring into Liverpool, and I just see us doing it at some point. Possibly can still be the case with Alexander Isak as well. We're bringing real quality to this squad. It's a great window. Yeah, it's a great window. I need to pinch myself every day. And everyone while this dreams thought we were bad with such amazing talent in one season. No, it is honestly mind-blowing. And again, come back to it. Liverpool have been desperate to bring in a young defender for 2, 3, 4 seasons now. And obviously, we lost Joel Quanta this time around, choosing to sell him to Bayer Leverkusen, of course. So that made the need and the requirement to do a bit of business like this all the more necessary. And Liverpool have acted. And Liverpool have acted so fast as well. Like, this time last week, I wasn't sure Giovanni Leoni was on our radar. Clearly he was, but it wasn't common knowledge. Like, it wasn't public information, that, I don't think. So to get it done as swiftly as this, in the manner that we've done it again, and the fact he's literally at Anfield tonight, probably going to step onto the pitch at some point, not as a footballer, but as a guest, is just testament to how we're getting business done, how we're acting in the market. And again, it gives us the best part of 2.5 weeks to wrap up any other business that needs concluding. Hopefully Isak, hopefully Gehi, and then who knows, maybe one more. The old versatile winger, versatile forward chat seems to be cropping up somewhat in the ethers of Liverpool. So let's wait and see what happens there. My last few chats now before I love you all and leave you all, because I need to eat some food. And then we are back live in about 40 minutes time. Can he play tonight, says Tom Darby? No, unfortunately not. But who knows? We've got a 9-day break between this and Newcastle away. May well be in the squad for that game. Ben Doak might not be. But yeah, Giovanni Leoni may well be available to Liverpool and to Arne Slot for that trip to St James's Park, which, let's be honest, is going to be a spectacle in of itself, because the Isak saga is not going anywhere. Leoni sounds very mature. That's one thing I've had actually in terms of feedback. I'll quickly touch on some of the things that people have said to me in recent days about Leoni. The mentality and his attitude and his professionalism, really. He feels like physically he's mature beyond his years, because again, as mentioned, 6'5" and as strong as an ox, seemingly. The fact he can bully Lukaku and the striker's name, who's escaped me now, it will come back to me at some point, but still, shows you just how physically advanced he is. But again, so much of the feedback has been around how mentally switched on he is, and determined and focused he is, and willing to learn he is, actually. And it's been said by a few people how he idolises Virgil van Dijk. Well, guess what, my mate? You're about to train with, play alongside, and learn from the best defender to do it for quite some time. You've already probably been grown up watching Italian defenders, Chiellini, Bonucci, etc., and those that went before them as well. Vlahovic, thank you very much. Now you're about to come in and play alongside Virgil, Ibu Konate, I think, as well. Joe Gomez, let's not forget about his qualities too, in terms of people to learn from. And if he is a sponge and is learning from those around him, then my word. I can play as a centre-back. I mean, I'm probably just about big. I'm probably taller than Mark Gay, actually. I think, in fact, not probably. I am taller than Mark Gay. So in terms of aerially, then yeah. Left foot, not great, to be fair. Pace, leaves a little bit to be desired, I think, at Premier League level. But outside of that, absolutely. In fact, later on, and again in about half an hour's time when we are back live, I'm going to tell you all about a moment that happened in footy this week with our mate Errol. So do tune back in for that, if nothing else. Once that story's been told, feel free to leave us, but you need to come back for that story, because it's a belter. And I just can't wait to tell the world what happened. Sound, I will start to wrap up now. Before I do, I think this is worthy of a mention as well. Oh, Newcastle. It's not been the summer of the tune, has it? It's not gone well. I think it's fair to say it's not gone well up there. The Northeast, it hasn't been pretty. Yeah. There may well be fog on the Tyne, but what there isn't is many new signings. And I don't hate Newcastle United, in spite of what's happened all summer long. But, yeah, they have missed out on some targets. And I must admit, I think at first when I did wonder whether the Leoni stuff may well be not accurate, but now it feels like they did actually make a bit of a play for Leoni. And he kind of rejected them as well. Yeah, bless him. Give us Newcastle, and then we'll stop taking... Give us Newcastle? Give us Isak and we'll stop taking the piss. I need to go and eat, let me tell you that. I will wrap up. At least Sam Fender is good, to be fair. He is good. But yeah, in terms of new signings, doesn't count for a lot. Jacobs, Ben, Liverpool are in active talks. You know, Ibrahim Konate's new contract, nothing agreed of yet, but LFC is still trying for an extension. Dialogue continues with Konate's representatives. Well, that would be the cherry on top of a cake, wouldn't it? To be fair, I think because that remains sort of like the dark cloud hanging over the defence in many ways, because we can all get really excited about Leoni and what that might mean for the short, medium, and long term. But I think even with the Gahey sign, I think a lot of people, myself included, are looking at going, well, that's great, and it means that right now we're better for it. But does it confirm that Konate will leave, which I don't really want to happen? If you could offer me now Van Dijk staying around for his 2-year extension, obviously, Ibra Konate signing that new deal, Mark Gahey and Leoni as your back four, and we just sell Joe Gomez next summer, as if that's the most straightforward thing in the world, granted. But yeah, I do think there's some level of sense to that, personally, for what it's worth. But anyway, I'm not staying on to the watch along now, because that's too long and I've got other things to do. So I'm going to do other things right now. I won't do predictions for the game because that's something that we do later on. I will disappear. We'll be back live in about half an hour. I mentioned a couple of bits already. There is some shows on redmenplus.com. In-depth detail on Giovanni Leoni. There's a couple of clips on YouTube as well on Redmen TV 2. So head over to them to find out more about Liverpool's new number 15. And as I say, I will be back in about half an hour with Steve, with Errol, to build up to Liverpool taking on Bournemouth tonight at Anfield. Boss, thank you very much for joining me. Take care. I'll see you soon.